What's up, family? Welcome back to another legendary reaction video. Let's go.
Scored or assisted on 66 points, 71% of the Fever's points. That's the most ever in league history. She's breaking records every week.
Yeah, facts.
Now, you made a big mistake the first time, not putting her on the Olympic team. Don't double down on WNBA. Caitlyn Clark, Iowa star, broke the NCAA women's hoop scoring record. She's the biggest star in college basketball, men's and women's. TV ratings, they just beat a Miami-Boston Celtic game. Why? One of the
Yeah, man. I feel like they should put the rookies and the veterans on the Team USA, and that would not only most definitely be very beneficial as it already is, being impactful with Caitlyn Clark, bringing more visibility and changing the whole trajectory of the WNBA, but it would have just made it even greater for Team USA to inspire others and showcase even stronger talent for years to come if they was on Team USA with the younger and the older. You feel me? Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark together would definitely it would shake up the game. Not saying that Caitlyn Clark isn't already being impactful and bringing visibility, but she'll bring even more visibility from an international standpoint, and they'll be more internationally strong. And it would benefit both ends, NBA and WNBA. I think it was just a ignorant move, but let's continue.
She's now familiar. It's year 4 at Iowa. Men's college basketball, one and done, absolute turnstile. I don't feel like Googling the starting lineup when I want to watch Duke play.
Caitlyn Clark underscores her unwavering dedication to the sport, pointing out that she's been playing basketball non-stop for an entire year.
I think Phoenix did a tremendous job of putting this weekend on. The fans were incredible. Obviously, the game was really good. So, and then to walk away with the W, that's not too bad either.
Not at all. I mean, Caitlyn, you've broken a lot of records already this season, and you came close again in this All-Star game. There was also a moment between you and Sue Bird courtside.
I love Sue. I'm just messing with her. I always mess around with her, but then I told her, you know, that record's for you, but maybe we'll break it at one point. Who knows?
Ooh,
Caitlyn Clark.
Maybe we'll break it at one point. Man, break that record.
Has delivered some phenomenal performances this season.
You know, I've said this, that I think Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark, the rivalry is great. I don't need Caitlyn Clark to win everything. Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid are vying for a starting center spot on the Olympic team. That's going to be in Paris. It's going to be in Paris about a week or two. Right. We're going to have the Olympics. And so he got these games yesterday against Serbia. And Embiid had the worst plus-minus of any player for Team
USA. You want to talk about that? I believe that Anthony Davis is more healthier and has been healthier and should start over Embiid. Embiid has been a problem, man. I'm not going to lie.
It's completely understandable that Caitlyn Clark needs a break after playing
And Embiid, you know, France wanted him on their team. Everybody fought hard for him, right? And he goes. Anthony Davis, by the way, has been very subtle about even being included. His quote was about the Olympics, "I'd be happy to play if I'm asked." Because the NBA is very much into aesthetics and style, I get lectured for years about players. Carmelo Anthony is unbelievable. He was a terrible defender, never in elite shape, a complete isolation player, very few assists, never made a teammate better, didn't do squat in the playoffs.
Acknowledging her talent and future opportunities is positive for the game. It's likely that she'll have a spot on the team for the Los Angeles Olympics, and supporting her growth can only benefit the sport.
More turnovers than I'd like and hurt all the time. I'm sorry, he's not going to physically dominate.
I know you don't want to.
Oh, man, listen.
The league. I was told Westbrook's an MVP. I thought he was a stat pattern. Bad hands, can't shoot for a guard, hyper athletic, but played one speed and often out of control.
Well, I feel like he's metaphorically like trying to show the comparisons or the similarities in between the styles with Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark right now. And Westbrook, I feel like he wasn't really initially a point guard. He grew into that role, you know. He can
I'm
shoot.
watching this Olympic stuff. Embiid gets in the way of the offense. Anthony Davis doesn't. Hell, Anthony Davis took 2 shots yesterday and was the second most dominating player in the game to Steph Curry.
Andrea gives Caitlyn Clark an A for her performance, acknowledging her impressive impact in her rookie season. This high grade
It's a magic bird thing, back and forth. If Angel Reese wins Rookie of the Year, good for her. I like the back and forth. But I just want to tell you that Caitlyn Clark last night had 19 assists in a game to set a league record. She's a rookie on a bad team. She has scored or assisted on 66 points, 71% of the Fever's points. That's the most.
Just listen to those stats, the facts, bro. We ain't talking about feelings. And that's what I mean. It just showed that Cheryl Reeve is just a pure hater, bro. There's no other way to put it.
In league history. She's breaking records every week. So part of the silliness of not allowing her on the Olympic team is she was a very quickly improving player, and now you kind of look silly. She's arguably the best playmaker in the league, arguably the second best three-point shooter in the league. I don't know. They seem valuable in Olympic competition, and she's not on the team. But yesterday, they also announced the skills competition for the WNBA All-Star team, and she didn't make that either. She didn't make the three-point shooting contest, so you argued she wasn't good for the Olympics.
And it's funny how he mentioned that it's like Larry Bird and Magic, because I always call Caitlyn Clark Caitlyn Bird.
Your argument, though I don't buy it, but it was your argument, women's basketball, that she would be a distraction. I roll, but okay. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition, where she's one of the best three-point shooters, and she's a highly skilled player?
She is one of the best three-point shooters, bro. She can shoot 32 feet out on the floor, bro.
Now what is it? Pettiness, gatekeeping, insult?
Charles Barkley said it best. It's nothing but petty. Just being petty. Bunch of females just being petty towards her, along with being a hater.
Dumb. If you're not going to put her in the Olympics, you're 0 for 1. Now you're not putting her in the skills competition. She quadrupled the ratings. Nobody's going to watch that skills competition. They would have, highlighting Clark and other players. Thank God the WNBA didn't go 0 for 3. They did find it in their heart to put her on the WNBA All-Star team. But she'll probably be at the end of the bench and struggle to get minutes, I would imagine. But, I mean, it's almost hard rooting for women's basketball.
Caitlyn is making a case for herself as Rookie of the Year, but whether she has truly solidified her position remains to be seen, especially with the second half of the season still ahead.
You're like, it cracks me up how they treat her. If you really think about it, they're trying to get her to pay her dues, but she's the one paying all the fees.
Yep. It's like they biting the hand that's feeding them, that's changing the whole trajectory of the WNBA. It's like they don't want to give her credit, bro. Like, that she clearly earned. It's weird, bro.
And you're flying private. She's paying for everything, and you want her to pay her dues. It's really ridiculous. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bird and Magic came into the league, and they put them on everything. They tried to highlight them.
Yeah.
Because the NBA was more secure in itself. They understood Bird and Magic could elevate all the players, the league, the revenue, the pie, the pettiness. You got to get her in this.
And then you see how the trajectory of Magic Bird end up transcending over time to even something more phenomenal, being inspired or being inspiration just by their rivalry, which led to Michael Jordan, the peak of the NBA within itself, ratings and everything, just taking over, just blown out the water. I don't think it has been anything like it since then, since Michael Jordan. So that's what I'm saying. Putting Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark in position and putting them in Team USA, it can be inspiring to not only keep the WNBA growing, as we already know Caitlyn Clark has already brought visibility to the WNBA and has definitely, raising the stakes and definitely been very impactful from a business standpoint, bringing more value, more revenue, and everything else to the league. But also, it would diversify the WNBA to bring more international players, bring more players, bring more competition, and securing that competitiveness within itself to keep the game interesting. You know what I'm saying? And in 2028, 2029, who knows? Just like Magic and Bird rivalry, Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark rivalry, somebody could be that Jordan of the WNBA to take it a step further to even secure the WNBA even more. Like, bro, it's just crazy, bro.
It's competition. What are you doing? You should have her on the Olympic team. What are you doing?
Caitlyn Clark's performance is significantly improving her team's chances, even though they were originally the worst team, as evidenced by their securing the #1 pick.
I mean, for years and years, you wanted all this attention. We finally pay it. You have somebody that can absolutely, as a catalyst, get you more attention, and you're now very precious. You're experts, insular, gatekeeping. You're exhausting. Olympic basketball team, men's and women's, has always been subjective and very political at the end of the roster.
It was super fun. I mean, I love Arika. She's always been a fan of mine, and I've always been a fan of hers. And she's just very down to earth, a great person.
You gotta love Caitlyn Clark, man. She's very humble, bro. She takes it on the chin. She does her job. She executes very well. She speaks very efficient. You know, definitely know how to efficiently speak and explain things in a very efficient but also clear and precise way. Like, bro, she just want to play. You can tell she's just a woman that just want to play basketball, bro, and continue to grow and master her skill, you know, and work on her craft, you know.
And in my eyes, one of the best one-on-one players in this league. So I'm not surprised. I mean, they were playing good defense. She was just making really good shots, and that's, you know, it's just kind of impossible to guard. So I'm happy for her, and it was fun. Like, they tried to sub me in for her. I'm like, no, I'm staying on the bench. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, that was classic, Caitlyn.
They have nothing to lose because they're already considered top-tier players in the league.
I would make the argument, like a Tiger Woods or a Conor McGregor in their prime, she'll make other people money beyond herself.
Yeah.
Rising tide lifts all boats. Instead of getting 7 million viewers, you'll get 14 to 18 with Caitlyn Clark, maybe more. The 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th best player on the women's Olympic team would make 6 or 7 figures in endorsements. The women's basketball team does not lose in the Olympics. I think they've won 7 straight golds. You probably didn't know that because you didn't watch.
Because I didn't
and
care.
you would.
And I didn't watch. I didn't even start watching the WNBA until Caitlyn Clark. So could you imagine? And then not to put her in an Olympic team, that's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I'm sorry.
Life, whether it's a relationship, business, sports.
Honestly, I think setting my teammates up, I think that just, like, provides so much more energy to the
And
team.
then even when she doesn't do good from an offensive standpoint, where she might check up a couple threes or layups and it's not working, she know how to switch it up and set her teammates up, like she just said, for success. And that's how she dished out like 19 assists, bro. She set her teammates up. If something's not working on her end, she know how to still orchestrate that offense, where at the end of the day, she's being challenged and she's being challenged. She's like a complete overall player because she's being challenged. And she may not, you know, there's always good games and bad games, and she may not be coming through in regards of putting points on the board and chucking up a three or chucking up a layup. So she like, let me switch it up and utilize what works for the benefit of my team with the overall objective, which is to do her job, executing, and also seeing the floor in her IQ and her mentality, and being so humble she is with the whole objective to win the game and uplift her team. As he even mentioned, she's already on a bad team, as Colin Cowherd already mentioned, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It gets everybody going, and when everybody can, like, touch the ball and, you know, get going in that way, I think it just, you know, everybody just flows
What
a little.
up, family? Quick question. Comment down below. Is they trying to stress the girl out or something? Because I don't get the objective of what they're doing. When you're literally blessed with greatness. Like, I don't get it, bro.
better, the offense flows a little bit better, but that's something I take a lot of pride in. At times I think I can try to like overpass and probably could be a little more aggressive to the basket, but yeah, I think with the weapons that we have on our team, like it's just easy for me to set them up, especially with AB, like playing pick and roll with her, and our chemistry is just slowly developing and getting better and better. And yeah, I think we're just, you know, learning as time goes and each game goes, like we're just getting better and better. To be honest, I'm pretty mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted. I've been competing for a year straight. Tolls can be taken, and obviously I've been very fortunate to have so many great opportunities over the course of the last year, and I know there's going to be so many more great opportunities for me to come. So I'm pretty sure I'll be in a three-point competition for everybody to watch at some point. Not everybody needs to freak out. So, but also like the roster that we have in the three-point competition is incredible. You look at their percentages; they're all 40% three-point shooters. Like they're shooting better percentage-wise than I am, so they all deserve it. I'll be there supporting, watching them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But yeah, I mean.
And I think after the trade deadline, I've said this, he and Wemby could be surging as faces of the league. But Ant Edwards isn't as good as Jaylen Brown now. Ant is unrefined. He's up and down. He's hot and cold. Jaylen Brown's great every night. They found a spot for him on the team. Women's basketball feels like it's suffering from spite or historically low self-esteem, where they want to prove.
And WNBA, man, it's just a bunch of women that's just being petty with their emotions, bro.
That they know more than you do.
They don't.
She is the best player in the WNBA and are confident in her abilities.
They need to listen.
Here's what I know. Caitlyn Clark would make all the other women on the Olympic team money. She'd make them more famous. She'd give them opportunities. They'd become potentially more household names. It's not, in fact, I'd argue, it's very little about Caitlyn Clark. It's an opportunity wasted. You go ahead and lecture us about how you know the game and you've covered the Olympics. Good for you. But some stuff is business 101. This is a layup.
My man is chewing them up, bro.
And you blew it.
They are blowing it. That's why they need to change that coach when the Indiana Fevers.
The rivalry between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese electrifies the game.
You know, I've said this, that I think Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark, the rivalry is great. I don't need Caitlyn Clark to win everything. It's a magic bird thing, back and forth. If Angel Reese wins Rookie of the Year, good for her. I like the back and forth.
Caitlyn, the rookie, sets records every week.
But I just want to tell you that Caitlyn Clark last night had 19 assists in a game to set a league record. She's a rookie on a
She is a rookie on a bad team. I feel like they still figuring it out, but that coach takes her out at pivotal moments, bro.
rookie on a bad team. She has scored or assisted on 66 points, 71% of the Fever's points. That's the most ever in league history. She's breaking records every week.
Despite her rapid improvement, she was overlooked for the Olympic team.
So part of the silliness of not allowing her on the Olympic team is she was a very quickly improving player, and now you kind of look silly. She's arguably the best playmaker in the league.
It's like they was doubting their #1 pick just because she's a rookie. I don't know. It's weird.
The second best three-point shooter in the league. I don't know. They seem valuable in Olympic competition, and she's not on the team.
Clark didn't even get a chance to compete in the three-point contest.
But yesterday, they also announced the skills competition for the WNBA All-Star team, and she didn't make that either.
Brittany Griner. I feel like Brittany Griner only got on it because the skills, because of the political aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
concerns about distraction kept her
ain't
out.
nobody checking for Brittany Griner. The only reason that happened because of that unfortunate situation that was a self-inflicted wound because she went to another country with what substance she wasn't supposed to have.
Women's basketball argument.
She didn't make the three-point shooting contest? So you argued she wasn't good for the Olympics. Your argument, though I don't buy it, but it was your argument, women's basketball, that she would be a distraction. I roll, but okay. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition where she's one of the best three-point shooters, and she's a highly skilled player.
She made the WNBA All-Star team, but likely won't play.
So now what is it? Pettiness, gatekeeping, insular, dumb? If you're not going to put her in the Olympics, you're 0 for 1. Now you're not putting her in the skills competition. She quadrupled the ratings. Nobody's going to watch that skills competition. They would have, highlighting Clark and other players. Thank God the WNBA didn't go 0 for 3. They did find it in their heart to put her on the WNBA All-Star team.
At least.
But she'll probably be at the end of the bench and struggle to get minutes, I would imagine. But, I mean, it's almost hard rooting for women's basketball. You're like, it cracks me up how they treat her. If you really think about it, they're trying to get her to pay her dues, but she's the one paying all the fees. She's the reason you're flying private. She's paying for everything,
bro.
And you want her to pay her dues. It's really ridiculous. I mean,
the WNBA don't get this correct. They're going to fumble the bag greatly.
Wrong, but Bird and Magic came into the league and they put them on everything. They tried to highlight them because the NBA was more secure in itself. They understood Bird and Magic could elevate all the players, the league, the revenue, the pie, the pettiness. You got to get her in the skills competition. What are you doing? You should have her on the Olympic team. What are you doing?
I honestly think just pick and roll. Like, we were getting whatever we wanted to the rim, and like AB was sealing really well. Like offensively, we were able to get whatever we wanted all night. It felt like it was just our defense. Like we gave up 28 points off turnovers. I think 20 of those were in the first half, and like so that really got to start the game. And just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. Like give up 100+ points, you're not going to win very many games. Like that's just the reality of it. But we did a pretty good job of hanging with them and probably gave people an entertaining game. It was fun there in the last 4 minutes. It was pretty back and forth, I guess.
Diana Taurasi's injury might pave the way for Clark to join the Olympic team.
I think Caitlyn Clark has that pull, and it's interesting. So yesterday she had another great fourth quarter. They came back to win. So here's what's interesting. Diana Taurasi is injured, and it may open the door for Caitlyn Clark to make the Olympic team. And women's basketball just didn't.
This is the pettiness on top of the pettiness. Even if Diana Taurasi is injured and it may open the door for Caitlyn Clark to go to the Olympic team, will they try to be smart and pick Angel Reese? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always seemed like it's something after another.
Quite know how to handle Caitlyn Clark. It reminds me a little bit when Taylor Swift, the singer, became a billionaire with the Eras tour. And like the management team and Ticketmaster had to apologize. Like in 10 minutes, they couldn't supply enough tickets. It was just, they were completely overwhelmed. And I think that's what women's basketball was with Caitlyn Clark. I mean, they knew a year out she could be the number.
But even if they completely overwhelmed, you don't fumble the bag. You don't fumble. Come on, bro.
Pick. They give her the toughest early schedule in the league over any other team. And remember, the Indiana Fever were the worst team. So she comes in, they start 1-8. They put nothing but quality veteran teams that had been in the playoffs. Terrible start. And then the league has to scramble because she's selling jerseys and merch like crazy. They've got to switch venues.
Even sold out the WNBA WNBA All-Star team jerseys.
LA, they went from the Pyramid in Long Beach to crypto, and the league got, this is what happens sometimes with soccer fans. They feel ignored, and WA fans feel ignored, so they get very precious, very tribal, very insular. She's not going to make the USA women's basketball Olympic team. And you're like, are you crazy? Go look at the men's team. It's political. Jaylen Brown's not on it because Nike doesn't want him on it. Kyrie Irving's not on it because Nike didn't want him on it. You're not going to put Caitlyn Clark, your Taylor Swift on the team. Well, she sells out her all.
They got to start this. They got to start. They got to stop with the political correctness, bro. They gotta start with they gotta accept basketball for what what happened to really looking at people's skill set and see how beneficial they is from that standpoint, being valuable to your team. Not this systematic political correct, bro. I don't even know what's going on, bro. Like, the decisions and how they making the decisions ain't even about basketball because it ain't even making sense. That's what the dumb stuff is.
Jersey in 17 minutes.
Leading the WNBA in assists and ranking third in three-pointers, Clark shines.
I'm still not sure women's basketball quite has their feet under them. You know, they're doing a ticket master. They're bailing water. She's exploding as a player. She leads the WNBA in assists. She's third in three-pointers made. Indiana's.
Bro, that's on them, bro. That's they lost, bro. They keep playing, bro.
Indiana's won 8 of 12. Yesterday's a prime example where she is in the fourth quarter, best player on the floor, had a choppy first half, but had 10 points. But you're not going to hear anybody pick on women's basketball as a unit. There's a lot of sycophants in the media. They feel like the sport's been ignored, so they're part of the brigade to support it, and that's fine. But let's be honest about it. The sport made a terrible decision on the Olympic team. The scheduling early, even though they knew she was coming out and probably going to be a number one pick a year earlier, about the time they were making schedules, was ridiculous. And now Indiana's on fire. Caitlyn Clark's like a 17, 8, and 6 player. She's getting better by the week. She says the right stuff at the podium. She's there's nothing about her you don't like.
They can't handle it, bro.
Now, you made a big mistake the first time not putting her on the Olympic team. Don't double down on dumb.
Caitlyn Clark will boost your television ratings and elevate the sport.
Get her on the team. Give us a reason to watch the Olympic women's team. You guys win gold every year. Your competition's weak. You win it every year. Give us
your competition weak. Boy.
reason quadruple your television ratings with her.
At least give us something interesting if it's already competition's already weak. You feel me?
Promoting not only the other women on the team that could get endorsements, but promoting your sport. There's a reason that top movie stars and top athletes use the same 4 or 5 agents, because they can handle it. They don't get overwhelmed. Women's basketball has felt overwhelmed here. You got your Conor McGregor. Your baseball, you got your Bryce Harper. You know, you got your Messi in the MLS. You put him on TV. You know,
shout out to Messi.
Salary cap in the MLS. It's funny. They got Messi into the MLS. The guy makes more than some of the teams. They figured out a way to get him into the MLS. They weren't precious and rigid. And so, listen, in basketball terms, this is a layup. In NBA terms, it's a slam dunk. If you can get her on the Olympic team, you missed the first time, do it the second time. You're doing yourself a favor. Don't
right now they're doing themselves a disservice.
Way of yourself. Don't jump over a $20 bill to get to a 5, as they say. You screwed up the first time. Don't screw up again. Get her on the Olympic team. Diana Taurasi, by the way, has been a huge, ardent supporter of Caitlyn Clark.
Yep.
She wouldn't mind it.
So follow the trajectory. The senior or the veterans or the older players on Team USA respect. So why the league and the franchise like? Listen to your players, bro. Listen to the. Come on, bro. But man, shout out to Colin Cowherd. Man, he was chewing them alive, bro. Amazing analyst with this one, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.